YAML. Prerequisites. AWS account. Purpose necessary to access AWS services and resources, including code build. Explanation: AWS Code Build runs within your AWS account, so you need an active account to use the service. The account provides the authentication and authorization for accessing code build and other related services. IAM user role with code build permissions. Purpose: to grant access to code build resources and perform actions like creating projects, starting builds, and accessing build artifacts. Explanation: IAM identity and access management controls access to AWS resources. You need an IAM user or role with appropriate permissions to use code build. The permissions define the actions the user or role is allowed to perform within code build. Code repository. Purpose: to store the source code that you want to build. Explanation: code build requires access to your source code to build your applications. This code can be stored in various repositories such as AWS Code Commit, GitHub, Bitbucket, or S3. Code build integrates with these repositories to fetch the code and initiate builds. Build spec file. Purpose: to define the build process and instructions for code build. Explanation: the build spec file is a YAML file that outlines how code build should build your application. It contains instructions for steps like fetching dependencies, compiling code, running tests, and deploying your application. The build spec file provides a clear and structured way to automate the build process. Build environment. Purpose: to provide the runtime environment and tools for your build process. Explanation: code build provides pre-configured build environments that include operating systems, programming languages, and build tools. You choose the environment that best suits your project's requirements. The environment contains all the necessary software and dependencies to execute the build process. Output artifact location. Purpose: to specify where code build should store the output of the build process, like build packages, binaries, or other artifacts. Explanation: code build allows you to specify a location for storing the output of your builds. This can be an S3 bucket, a code commit repository, or any other supported location. Having a dedicated location for build artifacts makes it easy to access and manage the results of your builds. Internet connectivity. Purpose: for downloading dependencies, accessing external resources, and uploading build artifacts. Explanation: code build needs internet connectivity to perform actions like downloading dependencies from package managers, accessing external APIs, and uploading build artifacts to storage services. AWS region. Purpose: to determine the location where code build will run your builds. Explanation: you choose the AWS region for your code build project. This determines the physical location of the infrastructure used for the build process. Choosing the region closest to your users or dependencies can improve performance and reduce latency.